I want you guys to take a look at this. This is really interesting to me. This is our buddy David Pakman talking to Van Jones. The original conversation is about criminal justice reform and marijuana legalization. And David asks a question here, and Van Jones randomly loses it.
It's still pretty risky for a national political candidate to just say, I'm an atheist. How would you evaluate the riskiness of national political candidates being openly for legalization?
Well, I mean, you're already starting to see national voices speak out and come around. I think this issue is coming around. I don't know why you raised the thing about being an atheist. I think I'm a person of faith. There are a lot of people of faith who evaluate people based on what I'd rather vote for a secular Democrat or frankly a secular libertarian or a secular even Republican who is going to do well by the planet, well by the next generation, than vote for a religious conservative who's going to stand by and let the earth be ruined by pollution and oppress women. So
no, you may, but you may, Van. But according to polls, a majority of evangelical Christians would not choose that.
Yeah, but that's because they're evangelical Christians. My point is, see, the thing is, people don't even study what they're talking about. Evangelical Christians are a very small part of the Christian faith. In fact, they're a small and a shrinking part of the Christian faith. So again, part of the problem that we have, I think, in this country is that people talk about stuff they don't know about. They talk about people they never talk to, and then we come up with all these different theories. And so what I want to say is most progressives will vote for a progressive whether they're secular or not.
True.
And most conservatives will vote for a conservative whether they're secular or not. The point is that, I don't know why you even raise that. The point that we're talking about here is to do with criminal justice. And on that issue, you have a lot more space now opening up because of breakthroughs at the state and local level. You have a lot more breakthroughs that are coming. You see people like Cory Booker and Rand Paul, who are national figures who are moving in that direction. I think you're going to see more and more progress as we move forward toward people coming up with a sane strategy. And because we had that bipartisan summit about 2 weeks ago, you can go to bipartisansummit.org and check it out. You saw everybody from the White House. You saw everybody from the White House to the Koch brothers standing together, saying that the time for change has come. And I think that momentum is going to continue to build.
But Van, not to belabor the point, but
I bet you will belabor it.
You must admit that if President Obama, for example, had said, I am an atheist when he was asked to cite his favorite Bible
verse. Why is
verse.
this important to you? What does this have to do with criminal justice?
Well, we got into this and you're just pushing back against me on it.
It's a very important issue for us to be talking about right now. We have a chance to close prisons. We have a chance to get a bipartisan, comprehensive bill to the president, supported by Republicans and Democrats and Libertarians this year. I think that's a very important breakthrough.
It is, and we're talking about that, but we're just having dialogue, though.
I'm not finished. I think it's a very important breakthrough, and I want to focus on the things that are bringing people together. And for the people who are in prison, a lot of people in prison are of every faith and of no faith. All of them deserve the right to come home, and I appreciate your interest in that topic.
Of course, and I agree with you, but I don't think it's damaging just to have dialogue about whether we agree or disagree that saying I'm an atheist if you run for president is a bad thing.
Look, you call me on this show and I won't come back on. You want to talk about criminal justice. That's what we're talking about. You want to have a conversation about your anti-religious views or whatever you want to talk about. That's a different conversation. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about criminal justice reform. I hope the people who are listening will go to bipartisansummit.org and help us with the issue of getting people home from prison, which is, I think, one of the most important moral issues, whether you're secular or religious in the country, as an issue I thought you cared about. Thank you very much.
We absolutely do care about it. Oh, and Van Jones hanging up on me. I have to tell you, I really don't know how that even escalated in that way. I mean, we agree on most everything, but Van Jones just cutting the connection and ending the call.
Yeah. Well, that was creepy. I think what happened there is, number one, this is a theory based on absolutely nothing, but I lean in this direction either way. I think Van Jones thought that David Pakman was a conservative host. So he was just more standoffish to begin with. I don't think he knows much about David Pakman, and I don't think he understands that David Pakman actually has a pretty large audience and that he's a progressive host. So I think he was just standoffish based off of that. But also, when David brought up the point about atheists, the only point he was making was like a segue point. He was saying, hey, it's hard for atheists to get elected, and that may be an issue where people have trouble running if they are atheist or if they say they're atheist. And isn't that a lot like marijuana legalization? Or his question was, how much is that like marijuana legalization? Do you, Van Jones, think that if a politician says, I'm in favor of marijuana legalization, that will prevent them from getting elected and that that's an issue that stands in the way and you can't take that position yet on that issue? So he was asking a very straightforward question, and he was just bringing up atheists in the context of, hey, it's harder to get elected if you say you're an atheist. And do you think it's harder to get elected if you say you believe in marijuana legalization? So Van Jones losing his shit for no good reason there. And in all seriousness, he should probably apologize to David Pakman, because he really came across like a dick there because he was a dick there.